Hello students, welcome in the crash course of 10th boards with me Aisha Khan. Now as you know students that this is the crash course week going on and you are covering all the topics simultaneously of English, be it literature, be it grammar, be it all the things which are related to English. So today what I have come up at, this is the crash course, so I have merged the two topics today. Okay, that will be your chapter 2 from your First Flight book as well as a poem that is also from the First Flight book, and the name of the poem will be A Tiger in the Zoo. Okay, तो ये दोनों टॉपिक आज हम इस सेशन में स्टार्ट करेंगे. तो फर्स्ट वी विल कवर अप द टॉपिक दैट इज नेल्सन मंडेला, लॉन्ग वॉक टू फ्रीडम. This is your second chapter from the First Flight book. After completion of this chapter, in the same session we people will be covering one poem that is A Tiger in the Zoo. Okay, so I hope you all are very much excited and curious to learn these two chapters in this session. Alright, so let's get started with that. So Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. Freedom, this is very very important. Now the main punch or main theme about this story revolves around is basically by Nelson Mandela, who has fought a lot to gain, you can say equality, or you can say freedom. He has fought a lot in order to provide equality to all the black people who were living in South Africa, and finally he started a movement that was a big success, and finally he has achieved that equality in bringing the blacks and whites together. Okay, so Long Walk to Freedom यही है कि he has taken lot of efforts in order to give equality to all the blacks as well, and he was the first black president in South Africa. Okay, so this story is basically all about Nelson Mandela, how he was crowned and everything, what all struggle he did with the blacks and whites. So we'll be covering it in this session. Freedom. Now we'll be doing the introduction part, the summary part, and some question and answers, because as such you people have already understood the whole chapter. पढ़ रखा है सब लोगों ने अच्छे से. This is your crash course. So I'll be quick, hurrying it up, and I'll be just covering it up in a short span of time. Why? Because we have to start with a new poem as well. So introduction part, let's have a look towards it. So introduction by Nelson Mandela. Now Nelson Mandela swears in as the first black president. He was the first black president who was ever made when he fought the equality for blacks and whites, and he finally did that. He succeeded and he was crowned as the first black president. Before him there was nobody who was being crowned as the president and who was considered to be the black person. Okay, because as such you must have read it in your studies, in your social science also, कि blacks were considered to be negligible when it comes to South Africa. So much inequality used to go with them. They used to have the prejudice, they used to don't allow the blacks to come in front, and they never used to give equality to the blacks. So he fought a lot in order to give the equality, and finally he succeeded and he was being crowned as the first black president. Okay, the main thing from the first line, the first black president of South Africa on the date 10th May 1994. Okay, so these are the things that you have to remember. Date remember करना है हमें कि when he was being crowned and where in South Africa. All right, so from the first point we can come to know कि Nelson Mandela, he was being crowned as the first black president, and on which date? 10th May 1994. Now the swearing ceremony, the day when we take the oath to become the president, that is the swearing ceremony. The swearing ceremony took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheater in Pretoria. So there is a place, Pretoria, and in that place, in sandstone amphitheater, he was being crowned, or he was being taken the swearing ceremony. So where it was held? In lovely sandstone amphitheater. There is a place, amphitheater, in Pretoria. So question can be asked, or an extract can be given to you, and you can be asked at which place he was being crowned. So you can write down lovely sandstone amphitheater in Pretoria, on date 10th May 1994, Nelson Mandela was being crowned as the first black president. Okay, now he addressed the rainbow gathering with a zest, telling that never, never and never should be it that beautiful land would experience the oppression of one by another. Now, in that swearing ceremony, Nelson Mandela, he said कि now, from now on, nobody will be deprived of their equality, nobody will be made a victim of black or white, okay, everybody will be given the equal powers, alright. So, never should be that beautiful land would experience the oppression. Oppression मतलब negligence, or you can say a kind of oppression. जैसे whites used to do, whites used to oppress the blacks. Okay, हर बार उनको क्या कर देते थे, वो overpower कर लेते थे. तो now, from now on, nobody will overpower, nobody will oppress one another by force or by any other means. Then he wished that freedom in Africa should reign, and he was wishing that freedom in Africa should control and freedom in Africa should rule. Okay, the army officials who could have caught and have put him in jail before were saluting him to pay respect to the newly born democracy. Now Nelson Mandela, he fought democracy in South Africa. He fought a lot, he was being imprisoned, he was being jailed, but then also he has not lost hope, and he was wanting to fight for the blacks to give the equality. और finally वो क्या हो गए थे, succeed हो गए थे. But before getting this succeed or before getting this success, he fought a lot. He was being imprisoned. और जो लोग, जो पुलिस आज उसको उनको सल्यूट कर रही थी, इससे पहले वो उनको क्या करती थी, they used to hit him, they used to put him in jail, and now today they were all saluting him for doing what he has done a lot for blacks. So officials who could have caught him and put him in jail were saluting him to pay respect to the newly born democracy. So they were all feeling proud about it. Now, the two national anthems were sung at the time of his swearing-in ceremony. Now, for the first time in South Africa, there were two national anthems which were being sung to give the respect to both blacks and white. So, this was the first time in South Africa that they have sung two national anthems. So, that was such a big deal. And why? Because Nelson Mandela was the one who has fought about for all these things. Okay. Then, he recalls back the history and pays homage to the national martyrs who sacrificed their lives for the sake of their motherland. So, he recalls the history, ki what all happened in history and how you have to give the respect to your homeland or to your motherland. So he recalls the history and he gave salute and he gave the tribute to all the martyrs. Martyrs मतलब जो लोग शहीद हो गए थे in the name of nation. So he gave salute to all the martyrs and who have sacrificed their lives for the sake of their motherland. तो martyrs जो भी शहीद थे उनको उसने salute किया. He gave lot of tribute to all those people who have given their life in order to save the motherland. Okay, so he was such a great man. Then he tells that the martyrs were the men of extraordinary courage and wisdom and generosity. Then afterwards he said कि all these people, all these martyrs, they are having great personalities. They are, they have fought a lot. They are having great prosperity. They are having great generosity, wisdom and everything. And why? Because they have given their lives in the name of nation. So that is such a big deal. Okay. So this is just the introduction part. Chalo. Now, let's move on to the next one. This is just an introduction. I hope you people have got the whole overview and the outlook of what this chapter is all about. Now, summary. Let's just recall some summary points. This is just the introduction going on basically. Summary हम लोग थोड़ा सा लेट पढ़ेंगे. तो इसी का ही point है, introduction के ही point है. If people learn to hate, he adds on, if people learn to hate, they can be taught to love too. अगर लोग नफरत करना जानते हैं तो वो प्यार करना भी सीख सकते हैं. तो he was a strong believer that if people can hate, people can be taught to learn love as well. Okay, and he always believed in equality, love, fraternity instead of hate, anger or dividism. Then he talks that man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never exhausted. He used to say कि जो man का goodness है, जो हमारी अच्छाइयाँ हैं, वो कुछ टाइम के लिए हमारे अंदर रह सकती है बट वो कभी भी खत्म नहीं हो सकती. It is always hidden, it can be hidden but exhaust खत्म कभी नहीं होगी. Okay? As you can see, so beautiful thought this man was having towards people. And we people always think कि black है तो you always neglect them, you always treat them with bad things. So that is very very wrong, students. Color does not, color can never divide us. It is just a color which has been given to God. So no matter if a person is black or if he is having a dark complexion, you should always treat everybody with equal and equality. Okay, so this is the strong message which this story is giving to us. Then he talks about the twin obligations towards his family, okay, and obligations towards his nation, that we people should be obliged towards two things, about our family and about our nation. We should be very very loyal about these two things. Then while discharging his duties, he found he was not free. So when he was doing his duties, he found out that he is not free. Hence he joined African National Congress. तो उसने जब अपनी ड्यूटीज करना शुरू किया था उन्होंने, नेल्सन मंडेला ने, when he was practicing, he found out that he can join African National Congress. Like we people have Indian National Congress, similarly these African people, they are having African National Congress, and he joined it to fought for the freedom of his country. Finally, when he fought for the blacks, he started fighting for the country as well, and he has joined African National Congress. So he has joined this to fight for the freedom of his country. So he was not stopping there, he was continuously striving to achieve or to get freedom for his country as well as for his people. Then he knew that the oppressor must be liberated just as surely as the oppressed. तो he was knowing कि oppressor जो है, जो हमें oppress कर रहा है, उसको भी हम oppress कर सकते हैं with power, with fraternity, with brotherhood. The oppressor and oppressed are alike, are robbed of their humanity. तो ये जो oppressor थे, basically they have robbed our humanity. उन्होंने हमारी जो humanity थी उसको पूरा rob कर लिया था, छीन लिया था हमसे. तो he was wanting to get it back again. Now in this summary part you can see the picture of Nelson Mandela, who was a great man. You must have seen the picture of him earlier also in maybe in social science book or in any other place. So this is the picture of Nelson Mandela. Now let's just read out some summary points as well. So he was the first black president of South Africa after more than 3 centuries of white rule. So for 300 years these whites have ruled the black. तो 300 साल के बाद में नेल्सन मंडेला ने जब फाइट किया एंड फाइनली ही गॉट द फ्रीडम, ही वाज क्राउन्ड एज द फर्स्ट ब्लैक प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ साउथ अफ्रीका. ओके, सेलिब्रेटेड वेरी विविडली, very nicely, very smoothly the great ceremony of the first democratic non-racial government. Non-racial क्यों? क्योंकि अब blacks और white को equality मिल गई थी. They were all together and they were all living in a democratic country, nation. Now, non-racial government frame हो गई थी finally when Nelson Mandela was given the charge of the first black president. Then being sworn in, when he was giving the swearing or when he was taking his oath, he said radiantly that never, never, never shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another. So this is the very famous line कि अब जब उन्होंने oath ले ली थी and when he was taking the charge, he was saying, he said कि now, from now on, nobody will oppress or nobody will experience oppression from anybody. Okay. He pays homage to the freedom fighters, okay, like Oliver. These are the names of some, the people who have given their lives towards nation. So Oliver Tambo Luthuli, Yusuf Dadu, तो these were the people who have given their life in the name of nation. तो ये martyrs थे थोड़े से हमारे, या freedom fighters कह लो. Then they were men of uncommon courage. They were having great courage. They were having great wisdom and generosity. He regards the death of thousands of people who sacrificed their lives for the cause of courage. So he regarded all those people who have given their life in the name of nation and who have fought a lot in the name of nation. So he was giving the tribute to all these martyrs, and then he paid emphasis towards the people who have given their life, who have sacrificed their lives in the name of nation. Then it is not the absence of fear but the victory over it. So he was saying that now it's the end of the fear and we have won the victory over all these inequalities. No man is born with harassment, rather love which comes natural to the human heart. So he says that nobody is born with embarrassment, okay, or harassment, but he is always born with lots of love in his heart. He says that every man has his duties to his family. He pays tribute or obligation towards two things, that is the nation and towards his family, to the community and to his country, to perform honestly. So he said that one should be very, very loyal towards his family and one should be very loyal towards his nation. Okay, so these 2-3 things he has mentioned when he was taking the oath. तो एक चीज हो गई, he was the first black president on 10th May 1994 at the place Lovely Sandstone Amphitheater in Pretoria. ये चीजें हो गई crowning की place. When he was swearing by or when he was taking the oath, he paid tribute to all the martyrs, for example Oliver Tambo, Luthuli, Yusuf Dadu. फिर उन सारे जो भी लोग शहीद हो गए थे in the name of nation, he paid great tribute to all of them, and then later on he said कि nobody is born with harassment but everybody is born with love and in his heart. Okay, so these are certain points and he was a great man. तो ये सारे points हम लोग एक बार मार्क कर लेते हैं कि after 300 centuries the blacks have got the equality. फिर he was paying great tribute to all the martyrs. Then he counted for the death of thousands of people who have given their lives in the name of courage, in the name of nation. After this he said कि nobody is born with harassment but everybody is born with love in their heart, and one should be very loyal towards our family, towards our nation. तो ये कुछ की पॉइंट्स थे जो नेल्सन मंडेला ने उनकी स्वेयरिंग सेरेमनी पे हम लोगों को ये सब बोला था. ओके, देन we'll be doing some question and answers. Now as I told you earlier only students कि we'll be covering 2 portion in this session only. तो जल्दी से हम लोगों ने इसकी इंट्रोडक्शन देख लिया, पूरी समराइज कर लिया. Now we'll be discussing some question and answers and afterwards we'll be starting with a new poem, that is a tiger in the zoo. तो जल्दी से उसको कवर अप कर लेते हैं फटाफट से. समरी हो गई हम लोगों की. अब क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर्स देख लेते हैं थोड़ा सा. तो क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर्स I have taken for 8 क्वेश्चंस एंड एक्सट्रैक्ट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन. तो तुम लोगों का पूरा अच्छे से प्रैक्टिस हो जाएगी कि अगर ये 8 क्वेश्चंस भी हमने ढंग से पढ़ लिए और एक एक्सट्रैक्ट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन कर लिया, देन यू कैन इजीली गो अबाउट अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस टेस्ट. तो जल्दी से कर लेते हैं फटाफट से. नाउ वेयर डिड द सेरेमनीज टेक प्लेस? कहाँ पे मैंने पहले ही बता दिया था. सेरेमनीज टुक प्लेस इन द सैंडस्टोन एम्फीथिएटर प्रिटोरिया. ओके, अगर हम डायरेक्ट भी लिख देंगे कि सैंडस्टोन, लवली सैंडस्टोन प्रिटोरिया या एम्फीथिएटर, तो वो भी हमारा करेक्ट होगा. देन कैन यू नेम एनी पब्लिक बिल्डिंग्स इन इंडिया दैट आर मेड ऑफ सैंडस्टोन? तो हम लोगों को एक भी एग्जाम्पल अगर हम दे सकते हैं, देन यू कैन इजीली गिव द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ पार्लियामेंट हाउस विच इज इन दिल्ली एंड इट इज मेड ऑफ सैंडस्टोन. तो सिंपली हम लोग लिख देंगे पार्लियामेंट्री हाउस इन न्यू दिल्ली, राष्ट्रपति भवन, सुप्रीम कोर्ट, ये सारी चीजें हैं. हम लोग कुछ सेरेमनी, कुछ बिल्डिंग्स का हमें नाम लिखना है, देन यू कैन जस्ट गिव द एग्जांपल ऑफ राष्ट्रपति भवन, पार्लियामेंट्री हाउस, ऑल आर सिचुएटेड एंड लोकेटेड इन दिल्ली. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट भी हमारा जो है, हाई कोर्ट है, मद्रास हाई कोर्ट है, ये सारी चीजें जो है, दीज आर द एग्जांपल्स व्हिच आर बीन मेड विद द सैंडस्टोन. इजी क्वेश्चन, यू कैन इजीली गो अबाउट इट. 2-3 पॉइंट्स देख लेना है, ठीक है. नाउ कैन यू से हाउ 10th May इज एन ऑटम डे इन साउथ अफ्रीका? 10th May को उनकी क्राउनिंग सेरेमनी हुई थी. ही वॉज गिवन द क्राउन. of first black president. तो autumn day क्यों था वो? Let's see. It was crowned, or it was because on this day there was the largest gathering of international leaders on South African soil for the installation of South Africa's first democratic and non-racial गवर्नमेंट. तो इसलिए हम इसको ऑटम बोल रहे हैं कि जो सारी इनइक्वालिटीज थी, ऑटम सीजन में क्या होता है कि लीव्स और ये सब चीजें झड़ जाती है. तो सिमिलरली ऑन दैट डे एवरीबडी वाज गैदर्ड टुगेदर, all the blacks and whites, they have left their inequalities and they were all together gathered there for all first नॉन डेमोक्रेटिक एंड नॉन रेशियल गवर्नमेंट. तो इसलिए हमने उसको ऑटम डे बोला है. ओके, बिकॉज इट हैज शेड अवे ऑल द इनइक्वालिटीज एंड इट हैज ब्रॉट टुगेदर ऑल द ब्लैक्स एंड व्हाइट्स. ठीक है, इसलिए. नाउ क्वेश्चन नंबर थर्ड आफ्टर दिस. At the beginning of his speech, Mandela has given a speech, Nelson Mandela ji. So, Mandela mentions an extraordinary human disaster. What does this mean? So, what is the glorious, the most human achievement he speaks at the end? Extraordinary human disaster क्या मतलब क्या था? He has mentioned at the beginning of his speech refers to the inhuman practice of apartheid. Extraordinary human disaster मतलब जब बहुत ज़्यादा racial discrimination होता था, when people used to treat the blacks very badly apartheid के टाइम पे, तो उसको उन्होंने क्या बोला है? Extraordinary human disaster. क्योंकि extremity पे blacks के साथ उन लोगों ने जब क्या किया था, बहुत ज़्यादा hardships हुई थी उनके साथ. Okay, तो it is all about the hardships which the blacks have faced during apartheid movement. तो उसको उन्होंने रेफर किया है एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी ह्यूमन डिजास्टर, बहुत ज्यादा एक्सट्रीमिटी पे. ओके, द रेशियल डिस्क्रिमिनेशन सफर्ड बाय द ब्लैक्स एट द हैंड्स ऑफ व्हाइट्स इन साउथ अफ्रीका. एज आई टोल्ड यू कि जो ब्लैक्स के साथ भी जो भी हार्डशिप्स हुई थी बाय व्हाइट्स, तो वो उसको उन्होंने क्या बोला है? एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी ह्यूमन डिजास्टर. देन इन द एंड ग्लोरियस ह्यूमन अचीवमेंट. ग्लोरियस अचीवमेंट ये क्या थी कि नाउ इट हैज बीन फॉर्म्ड एज द फर्स्ट डेमोक्रेटिक नेशन. तो वो क्या था? ग्लोरियस अचीवमेंट था फॉर द साउथ अफ्रीका. ओके, तो देखो आंसर कैसे फ्रेम करेंगे हम. इन द एंड द ग्लोरियस ह्यूमन अचीवमेंट दैट ही स्पोक ऑफ refers to the establishment of the South Africa's first democratic nation. You can underline this, democratic and non-racial government. तो इस चीज को तो उन्होंने बोला था ग्लोरियस ह्यूमन अचीवमेंट, और डिजास्टर क्या था? जो प्रैक्टिस ऑफ अपार्थेड चल रही थी उसको ह्यूमन डिजास्टर उन्होंने बोला था. ओके, ह्यूमन डिजास्टर तो हो गया प्रैक्टिस ऑफ अपार्थेड, और ग्लोरियस ह्यूमन अचीवमेंट क्या हो गया? डेमोक्रेटिक नॉन रेशियल गवर्नमेंट. ये पॉइंट देख लेना है हमको और अंडरलाइन कर देना है. सिंपल. क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 देखो. व्हाट डज मंडेला थैंक द इंटरनेशनल लीडर्स फॉर? मंडेला ने इंटरनेशनल लीडर्स को थैंक यू क्यों बोला था? फॉर व्हाट रीजन? तो ही फेल्ट प्रिविलेज्ड टू बी द होस्ट ऑफ द नेशंस ऑफ द वर्ल्ड बिकॉज नॉट टू लॉन्ग अगो द साउथ अफ्रीकन्स वर कंसिडर्ड आउटलॉज. उन्होंने अभी तक ये चीज फील की थी, फेस की थी कि जो भी ब्लैक्स थे उनको वो अंडर प्रिविलेज रखते थे, उनको हमेशा से ओवर पावर करके रखते थे. ओके, तो ही वॉज कंसिडर्ड आउटलॉज. He thus thanked at the international leaders for having come to witness his institute as president, since this event could be considered as a common victory for justice, for peace, for human dignity. तो उन्होंने इन सब के लिए as a tribute he thanked all the international leaders who have come together as for his crowning ceremony to celebrate the victory, to celebrate the justice, to celebrate the peace. Okay. Now, what ideas does he set out for the future? Ideas क्या क्या set out किए थे मंडेला ने afterwards when he was being crowned? So see, Mandela had high hopes for the future of South Africa. He has planned out lot of things for South Africa. He pledged to liberate all South Africans from the continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender, and all the other discriminations which were going on in South Africa. He also stressed that the beautiful land of South Africa would never ever be facing the racial discrimination. So one thing, when he was crowned as the first black president, he promised one thing to the people of South Africa, कि from now on people will not be facing the racial discrimination. Okay? Now, let's discuss some more question and answers. What does the military generals do? Military generals, what they have done, the highest military generals, this you can answer it, okay, as it is. I have provided you with the slide, so you can just go about understanding this part, students. Now let's discuss some extract based comprehension part. पैसेज दे रखा है तुम लोगों को, देखो 10th में dawned bright and clear. For the past few days he had been pleasantly besieged by dignitaries would leaders who were coming to pay their respects before the inauguration ceremony of Mandela. Okay, the inauguration would be the largest gathering ever of international leaders in South Africa soil. तो फर्स्ट टाइम ऐसा हुआ था कि इतने सारी गैदरिंग हुई थी बाय ऑल द पीपल, बाय ऑल द इंटरनेशनल लीडर्स, एंड दे हैव गैदर्ड टुगेदर टू सेलिब्रेट द विक्ट्री ऑफ ब्लैक्स एंड व्हाइट. ये क्वेश्चन दे दिया. आई क्या है इसमें, व्हाट इज, हु इज आई इन दीज लाइन्स? तो दिस इज न्यू, दिस थिंग, few days I had been pleasantly besieged by dignitaries. So answer here is Nelson Mandela. Okay, I had pleasantly besieged by dignitaries and would leaders who will be coming. Now which inauguration ceremony? It was the inauguration ceremony of biggest university? No. Inauguration of new bridge? No. The inauguration ceremony of African Olympics? No. The inauguration ceremony of the Nelson Mandela's presidentship. This was the inauguration ceremony it was talking about. So these two questions have been framed. Now we have come to the end of this chapter. I hope you people have understood the story very nicely. Let's just recall it once again. So this story was basically all about freedom, how he has fought, Nelson Mandela, he has fought to attain freedom and to gain equality for all the blacks and white, and we people have done about the introduction, summary, some question and answers as well. So I hope you people have understood the story very nicely. Now let's move on to the poem part, that is A Tiger in the Zoo. So let's just quickly start it off. Okay, up everybody of you might be thinking ki tiger usually lives in a zoo. Then what is the big thing and what is the different thing in this poem that the poet is talking about? So there is a contrast which the poet has created in this poem, and this contrast is basically on two things, two different things, that one when the tiger is in the zoo and one when the tiger is in the jungle. So these two personalities of tiger is totally different from each other. Okay, the way the tiger reacts in jungle and the way the tiger reacts in zoo is totally contrasting to each other. So we will be coming to know when we will read the story. So let's find out what all are there in this poem. Tiger in the zoo. So we'll be doing some new words first, then we will be doing some key points which are related to this poem basically, and then we will be doing all the explanation part of each stanza one by one, so that you will understand all the stanza very nicely. So stanza 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, everything, and then finally in the last we will be summing it up, summarize कर लेंगे इसको पूरा, and then finally we'll be doing some extract based questions. So these will be the things for this poem. Now starting से start करते हैं फिर. Now new words, there are certain new words in this poem. So new words, what all things are there in this poem is the strips. First one, you might have heard of this name strips, और अगर नहीं सुना है तो strips मतलब क्या होता है students? See, in this picture you can see these black linings over this tiger's body. ये जो black linings है basically this is known as strips. जो black linings होती है tiger की body पे basically this is known as strips. Now strips is a long narrow band. पतली पतली सी strips होती है and they are long enough. They are the bands basically and they are known as strips. Now we have made one sentence also. So the tiger has black strips on his body on the yellow background. As you can see in this picture, yellow background and black strips. ठीक है? Then lurking means hiding. This is again a new word which is there in your poem. जब हम poem read करेंगे, when you will read the whole poem, you will come to know that this word is also there in the poem. And the meaning of this word is hiding. You must have seen students in Animal Planet or the Discovery Channel in सब पे, when the tiger is in the jungle, how he hides himself in the shadow or in the bushes. So similarly, lurking means lying hidden in order to attack. they are always hiding behind some bushes or behind something so that they can attack their prey. जैसे उन्हें कोई मिल जाता है उनका शिकार, they can attack. तो lurking, the cat is lurking in the grass to attack the rabbit. Now, the cat is lurking in the grass to attack the rabbit. Means she is hiding in the grass. Then the new word is sliding. Now, sliding means moving very, very slowly. So, this is basically the meaning of this word sliding. If you talk about plump, plump means somebody who's got big fat tummy. मतलब जो तोंद होती है ना basically हिंदी में. So, this is the meaning of plump, somebody who's fat. The deer has a very plump body. Must have seen the body of deer, students, how the tummy of this deer is coming out. So, that is the meaning of plump body. Now, fangs means the long sharp teeth. Basically, fangs, again you see the picture, this tiger is having the front long teeth. इस टाइप के कुछ बड़े बड़े से teeth होते हैं उसके tiger के. This is known as fangs. The front two teeth which are used to chew or which are used to bite their enemies or their prey. So, fangs is the meaning of this, that the front two teeth. So, the tiger has this terrifying fangs. Tigers' fangs are sharp and big. So, they are having sharp and big fangs so that they can attack their prey and they can kill it. Okay. So, these are certain new words which will be there in the poem, and we have made certain sentences also ताकि आप लोगों को समझ में आ जाए what is the usage of these particular words in a sentence. Now, key points. What are the key points in this poem? First one, this poem contrasts a tiger when it is in the natural habitat and when it is imprisoned in a zoo. So what I told you, that this poem is based on two contrasting things about a tiger. A tiger when he is in the jungle living nicely in his natural habitat, and one when the tiger is imprisoned in a zoo. Okay? तो एक तो नेचुरल हैबिटेट में रह रहा है तब, और एक जब इम्प्रिजन्ड है जू में. तो दो कॉन्ट्रास्टिंग चीजें इस पोएम में दिखाई हैं. On a starry night, the poet sees a tiger in a zoo. The tiger moves slowly up and down in his cage. Now, the poet is saying that he is watching when a tiger is imprisoned in a zoo. So, he is watching and he is seeing a tiger who is imprisoned in a zoo, and there is a starry night and this tiger is sitting quietly. He is not talking much. He is just quiet. So, on a starry night, the poet sees a tiger in a zoo. He moves slowly up and down in his cage. The tiger is full of rage but is quiet in his helplessness. अब ये जो tiger है, when he is imprisoned in the zoo, he is having full of rage. Rage means anger. So he is full of anger but he is quiet because of his helplessness. Why helplessness, students? Because when this tiger, he is imprisoned in the zoo, he cannot do anything. कुछ नहीं कर सकता है वो. He is not able to move outside also. So he is full of anger but he is quiet because of his helplessness. The poet is moved to pity for the tiger. Now this poet is feeling pity, mercy. उसको बुरा लग रहा है कि ये जो tiger है, when he is in his natural habitat, how nicely and fiercely he moves around in the jungle. But when he is imprisoned in the zoo, he is feeling bad about the tiger. Pity means, you can say, mercy. The poet says the tiger should have been in the jungle. Now what, according to the poet, what he feels, that the tiger should have been kept in the jungle instead of keeping him in the zoo. Because he is not talking anything, he is all quiet, he is feeling helpless. So instead of keeping the tiger in the zoo, he would have been in the jungle. But sadly the tiger is locked behind the bars. But क्या है? Sadly he is imprisoned in the zoo. The tiger does not take any notice of the visitors. Now the people who are coming to watch him, he is not paying attention to all those visitors as well, and he is just keeping quiet and he is not saying anything to anyone. The tiger is no longer free to move in his natural habitat. Now as he is imprisoned in the jail, he is imprisoned in the zoo, he cannot move outside, he cannot have the fun, he cannot move nicely. So he is just keeping quiet because he knows he cannot go anywhere. So basically these are the key points. अब explanation करेंगे हम लोग one by one, all the stanzas. So first explanation of stanza is the tiger moves up and down of his cage. The strips on his body are of strong bright color. The tiger moves quietly on his velvet pads. He is full of rage, but he is quiet because now that he knows that he is helpless. So what happens, students? The poet, he is saying कि when in the first stanza the poet is sitting quietly in the zoo because he is imprisoned, and he is sitting quietly. He is not moving up and down. He is just sitting quietly. He is not paying attention, and he knows because that he is helpless. He cannot do anything. So this is basically the explanation of stanza 1. Then explanation of stanza 2. What all things are there in the stanza 2? The poet, looking at the imprisoned tiger, the poet is filled with pity. So on a starry night, this poet, he is looking at the tiger, and this poet, he is filled with pity for the tiger. Why? Because he is not doing anything. He is sitting quietly. He is feeling helpless. तो poet को उसके लिए बुरा लग रहा है that this tiger, the same tiger, when he is in the jungle, he roams so nicely without any fear. But now when he is imprisoned in the zoo, he is not able to do anything. So he is feeling pity about it, and he is feeling bad. He says that the poor tiger should have been in his natural habitat. Now what, according to the poet, he is thinking कि इस tiger को, this tiger must have been in his natural habitat instead of keeping him in the. Then at this point of the night, he would have been lying in the shadows of trees and sliding quietly through the long grass. Now what, according to the poet, if the tiger would have been in the jungle right now, then he might have been moving nicely along the long grass, and he might have been catching his prey. अगर इस टाइम पे, according to the poet, he is saying कि अगर इस टाइम पे poet, this tiger, if he would have been in the jungle, तो क्या होता? ये जो tiger है, ये अच्छे से वहाँ घूम रहा होता. He would have been walking in the long grass, because as you can see in the jungle, there is long grasses are there. So he might have been roaming around in the jungle, and he would have been searching for his prey. Prey means अपना शिकार. There near the water hole, he would be waiting for some fat deer to pass that way. Thus he would have been lying there in expectation of a heavy feast. अब इस टाइम पे, what he is imprisoned right now, तो अगर इस टाइम पे ये टाइगर जो है, अगर ये इस टाइम पे जंगल में हो रहा होता, he would have been walking nicely in the jungle. He would have been searching for a fat deer so that he can attack, and he would have had a great meal. So feast here refers to meal. For a tiger, if he finds a deer as a meal, then it will be a feast. उसके लिए दावत हो जाएगी है. तो feast means good meal. And fat deer, plump deer to pass that way, and he would have been lying. So there are no other word which are needed to be explained. तो ये सारा हम लोगों का हो गया stanza 1 and stanza 2. Now, explanation of third one. Here the poet imagines what the tiger would be doing in case he failed to find his prey in his natural habitat. अब जो poet है, वो टाइगर को कंटिन्यूसली देख रहा है. टाइगर जू में इम्प्रिजन है, बट वो इमेजिन कर रहा है, अपनी खुद की इमेजिनेशन लगा रहा है और सोच रहा है कि अगर इस टाइम पे टाइगर हमारा हैबिटेट में हो रहा होता या घूम रहा होता, जंगल में हो रहा होता, देन ही वुड हैव बीन सर्चिंग फॉर हिज प्रे. वो अपना शिकार को ढूंढ रहा होता. ही वुड हैव बीन लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड फॉर अ deer to pass through that water hole. Okay, then, and what would have happened if he would have not found his prey in his natural habitat? और क्या अगर हुआ होता, अगर उसे अपना natural habitat में अपना prey, अपना शिकार नहीं मिला होता, तो what he would have been doing that time? तो he says that the tiger would be growling at the edge of jungle near some village. और अगर इस टाइम पे टाइगर को अपना prey नहीं मिला होता, then this tiger would have been roaring or growling. Growling means he would have been roaring loudly. जोर जोर से दहाड़ रहा होता. Growling means you can say creating loud noise, or you can say roaring. You must have seen how these tigers roar. So roaring, he would have been growling at the edge of the village. अगर वहां पे उसको अपना प्रे नहीं मिला होता, तो क्या होता कि this tiger would have gone to the village and he would have been growling. He would have been searching for food and he would have been roaring badly. He would be showing his white fangs and claws while moving here and there. वाइट फैंग्स, आई हैव टोल्ड यू द फ्रंट टीथ, तो वो अपने दांत दिखा रहा होता अपने तक और विलेजर्स को डरा रहा होता, ओके, बिकॉज ही हैज नॉट गॉट द मील टू ईट. He would thus become a cause of terror for the villagers. और अगर उस टाइम पे उसको डियर नहीं मिला होता या कोई भी और एनिमल नहीं मिला होता, then he would have been terrifying the villagers. डरा रहा होता वो villagers को, and he would have been, you know, getting them afraid, and he would have been keeping hold of all those villagers. ठीक है, तो terrorizing those villagers. The poetess here gives a hint that if we destroy the natural habitat of tigers, they will be forced to turn to our towns and villages to find their food. So here the poetess she's saying कि if we are disturbing the natural habitats of any animal, then what will happen? They will finally be coming to our villagers and they will be causing harm to the villagers, and because they need to have the food. अगर हम उन्हें नेचुरल तरीके से फूड प्रोवाइड नहीं करेंगे, देन व्हाट विल हैपन? दे विल बी ईटिंग the food forcibly, they will be terrorizing the villagers, they would have been attacking or they would have been killing the villagers for their food. तो अगर हम उनका natural habitat disturb करेंगे, then ultimately they will disturb our natural habitat as well. Okay, so this is the whole explanation of third stanza. Now let's move on to the fourth one. तो fourth stanza says कि poet sees the tiger locked in a concrete cell. Locked means blocked and he is imprisoned. तो basically locked here, imprisoned. He is imprisoned in a concrete cell in the zoo. Concrete cell मतलब थोड़ा ऐसा zoo बना रखा था उसका, तो उस पिंजरे में उसको रख रखा था. And in spite of all his strength, he is lying imprisoned behind the bars. He has got the powers. Okay. Although he is kept in the zoo, but he has got the powers. So in spite of having lot of power and strength, this tiger is feeling helpless. He cannot do anything. Very slowly and silently he moves up and down along the length of the cage. He takes no note of the visitors who come to the zoo to have a look at him. Now he is just moving quietly, slowly up and down in the cage, and he is not paying attention. He is not bothered about the people who are coming to see him, and he is just in his own life, and he is just enjoying his own time without reacting anything towards the visitors. Okay, so he is not paying attention. No note means he is not paying attention of the villagers या of the visitors. Note means attention. ठीक है, तो he is not bothering about the people who are coming to see him, and he is just moving very slowly and very quietly in his cage to have a look at him. So in spite of all his powers, he is just feeling helpless. Now the last stanza. The tiger knows no rest during the day because of the visitors. Now the whole day passes on like this only because the visitors are coming day in and day out, and he is just busy because people are going there and they are watching this tiger. So he is feeling, he is involved the whole day. पूरे दिन वो बिजी रहता है because everybody is coming and watching him. So he is busy all day. Even at night he remains disturbed due to the noise of the patrolling cars. Now in the night also he is getting disturbed because of the cars which are moving outside the road. So he is getting disturbed and he is not at peace even in the night. Patrolling cars means the cars which are going outside the road or on the road. He keeps staring at the brilliant stars with his brilliant eyes. He keeps staring means he's continuously looking at the stars with his brightening eyes and on the brightening stars. So staring means looking at. He's continuously looking at the brilliant stars with the brilliant eyes. You must have seen the eyes of the tigers. They are very shiny and they are very sparky. So he is watching the stars with his shiny eyes in the starry night. Perhaps he is asking heaven why he has been imprisoned there. Now, maybe he is looking at the stars and he might have been asking that why he is imprisoned in spite of having all the strength, in spite of being so powerful, so fiery, he is still imprisoned in the zoo. So he might have been thinking why he is imprisoned in the zoo. Okay. So that was all about the stanzas explanation, students. Now we will be summing it up. पूरी जो पोयम है हम लोगों ने अभी तक एक एक एक्सप्लेनेशन पढ़ा एक एक स्टैंजा का. नाउ वी विल बी समराइजिंग इट एंड देन वी विल बी हेडिंग ऑन टुवर्ड्स द क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर्स. तो समरी पार्ट, This poem contrast. सबसे पहले तो क्या है? Poet has created a contrast when a tiger is imprisoned in the zoo and when the tiger is in his natural habitat. On a starry night, the poet sees a tiger in the zoo. Now, at what time the poetess is looking at the zoo? When it is a starry night. The tiger moves slowly up and down in his cage. He is full of rage but is quiet in his helplessness. Now, the poetess, he is looking at the tiger and he is finding that this tiger who is imprisoned in the zoo, he is full of anger but he is helpless because he cannot do anything. The poet is moved to pity for the tiger. He says that the tiger should have been in the jungle. Now, when watching this, the poetess is feeling bad about the tiger and she is thinking that this tiger would have been kept in the jungle instead of being imprisoning him in the zoo. So she is feeling mercy on the tiger. He should have been moving quietly in the shadows near some water hole and waiting for a plump deer to pass that way. Now, if in that time the tiger would have been in the jungle, he would have been searching for a deer to pass through and he should kill him and he should have a great meal. So, plump deer means fat deer. Pass that way, but sadly he is locked behind the bars in a concrete cell. अगर इस टाइम पे वो जंगल में हुआ होता, then he would have been searching for his deer or for any animal to kill and eat. But unfortunately, he is locked in the cell and he cannot do anything. Then he has to be content with merely looking at the stars. Content means satisfied. So I am providing you the meaning also so that you can understand the meanings of all the words. Now he has to be content with merely just looking at the stars. He has to find himself satisfied. He has to be content with what he is now and he's just looking at the stars and feeling satisfied about where he is. He cannot do anything. He's just wanting to go to his natural habitat and he's thinking about it and he's just looking at the stars continuously. So this is basically the poet ends here on this poem, that the tiger, how he is feeling when he is imprisoned in the zoo, what he might have been doing when he was in the jungle or when he would have been in the jungle. तो basically दो contrasting thing है, दो imaginary scenarios हैं कि when the tiger he is imprisoned in the zoo and when the tiger which is in the natural habitat. So this is the whole summary of this poem basically. अब extract based question and answers ही हम लोग करेंगे, ठीक है. तो एक स्टैंजा कहीं से भी हो सकता है कि कोई भी एक्सट्रैक्ट आ जाए. मे नॉट बी नेसेसरी कि यही वाला एक्सट्रैक्ट आएगा. इट कैन बी एनी स्टैंजा फ्रॉम द पोएम. ओके, तो यू शुड नो हाउ यू हैव टू गो अबाउट द एक्सप्लेनेशन पार्ट एंड हाउ यू हैव टू आंसर द क्वेश्चन इफ देयर इज एन एक्सट्रैक्ट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन गिवन इन योर एग्जाम. तो एक्सट्रैक्ट बेस्ड कॉम्प्रीहेंशन है, कोई सा भी स्टैंजा ले लिया. ही शुड बी लर्किंग इन शैडो, लर्किंग hiding in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. Plump means fat deer. Explanation भी दे रखा है यहाँ पे. इसके बाद फिर हम लोग क्या करेंगे, पूरे question and answers देखेंगे. तो explanation, looking at the imprisoned tiger, the poet is filled with pity and she is thinking कि if he would have been in the jungle, he would have been walking in the long grass and he would have been searching for his deer to pass through that water hole. तो बेसिकली एक्सप्लेनेशन पूरा यही है. स्टिल आई जस्ट रीड इट आउट फॉर यू. देन एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ द टाइम नाइट, he would have been hiding in the shadows and sliding quietly, moving quietly there, here and there near the water hole. He would have been waiting for some deer to pass so that he can have a heavy feast, a good meal. He is expecting a good meal. अगर वो उस टाइम पे जंगल में होता तो, ठीक है. Questions. Where should the tiger be hiding? The tiger should have been hiding where? He would have been hiding inside his cave, in the water hole, in a shadow. So you might have been understood now this thing कि he would have been hiding in a shadowy. एक कहीं से छुपा हुआ होता वो, और अगर जैसे उसे कोई deer मिलता, he would have attacked the deer. तो he would have been hiding in the shadowy. कहीं किसी bush के पीछे या किसी के पीछे he would have been hiding. Then he should be lurking in the shadow. वो शैडो के पीछे छुपा हुआ क्यों होता? टू रेस्ट फॉर अ वाइल, टू कीप हिमसेल्फ कोल्ड, टू अटैक द डियर दैट माइट कम देयर. इट्स नॉट डूर स्टूडेंट्स, इट्स डियर. डोर नहीं है, इट्स डियर. तो ही वुड हैव बीन डूइंग व्हाट? टू कीप हिमसेल्फ कोल्ड, टू अटैक द डियर दैट माइट कम देयर. तो he would have been hiding there to attack the deer if it comes to the way. तो correct answer to this one is fourth one. Okay. Now the rhyming words in the stanza are, rhyming words कौन कौन से हैं जो stanza में दे रखे हैं? Rear where, grass pass, long water hole, lurking through. तो देखो कहाँ पे हम लोगों को इसमें से राइमिंग वर्ड्स दे रखे हैं? ग्रास एंड पास आर द टू राइमिंग वर्ड्स व्हिच आर गिवन इन द स्टैंजा. तो कौन से पार्ट में दे रखा है हम लोगों को? ऑन सेकंड पार्ट. तो ग्रास एंड पास आर द राइमिंग वर्ड्स इन दिस स्टैंजा. नाउ द फोर्थ वन, व्हिच वर्ड इन द स्टैंजा मींस द ऑपोजिट ऑफ स्लेंडर. कौन सा इस स्टैंजा में जो वर्ड दे रखा है वो कौन सा एक वर्ड है व्हिच इज ऑपोजिट टू द वर्ड स्लेंडर. नाउ स्लेंडर मींस समथिंग व्हिच इज स्लिम. ओके, तो व्हाट इज द ऑपोजिट ऑफ स्लिम? It's fat. Okay, slender means slim. तो ऑप्शंस देखते हैं एक बार हम. Lurking means hiding. Slender का opposite hiding तो होगा नहीं obviously. If you talk about long, then again slim and long are not the opposites. If you talk about through, then again through is not the opposite. Then what is the word which is opposite to the word slender? तो slender का opposite क्या होगा? Plump. Somebody which is fat. Who is fat? ठीक है, तो इसका correct answer क्या है? This plump. Okay. तो बेसिकली दिस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस कैन बी फ्रेम. कोई सा भी एक एक्सट्रैक्ट हो सकता है विच विल बी फ्रेम. यू विल बी गिवन 2 to 4 क्वेश्चंस विच कैन बी मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चंस एंड दे आर वेरी वेरी इजी वंस यू अंडरस्टैंड द पोएम नाइसली. So students, that was all about this poem. I hope you people have understood the poem very very nicely. एक बार वापस से recall कर लेते हैं from the starting so that you will understand it and you will grasp it very very nicely. ठीक है, तो from the starting I'm just doing it again so that you can have a recall. So basically, Tiger in the Zoo, this poem is all about a tiger who is in the zoo and how he is feeling, what he would have been doing if he would have been in the jungle at this time. So poet is relating to all these two situations in this poem basically. She has brought about the contrast in this poem, how the tiger reacts when he is in the zoo and how the tiger reacts when he is in the jungle. तो उसकी पूरी जो मेंटालिटी है, what all he is thinking, what he would have been doing, everything he is imagining and he is presenting it in his stanzas. So we have seen the explanation of all the stanzas. Once you go through all the stanzas so that you will understand the poem very very nicely. I hope you have understood the poem nicely. So students, that was the whole story about a tiger in the zoo. If you have understood the poem nicely, please do like, subscribe our channel. Thank you and have a nice day.